plastic. Platinum when I swipe, no, it's not plastic. I fill up the bank, magic. Student of the game, I got my masters. Whoa, 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 whoa. My wife got me.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting and yet stressful day because after a lot of discussion and prayer, my wife and I both decided that I should go full-time into business for myself. Now, over the last year, I've been doing personal finance and business coaching as a side hustle, but that's part-time. It's a little bit different when you leave the security of your full-time job and just rely on yourself and God to make things happen. It's exciting for some, it's scary for others. For me, I'm very excited. I've always wanted to go into business for myself, but I also have a wife and 4 kids, so I've just never been able to get myself to make that jump. But you know, a lot of times God will force you to do something and close some doors because you're just too chicken to make it happen. So what I want to do for this channel is to take you guys with me step by step as I build this business. I'm going to be taking a lot of the theoretical concepts that I've learned in business school and books, as well as the practical knowledge and understanding that I've gained over many years in business, and we're going to apply it to this new venture. And well, we'll see what happens. Let's go. In this first video, I want to talk to you about the steps that you can take to help you make that jump to full-time entrepreneurship. Whether you've been forced into that position by one of the many tech layoffs that's been happening, or if you just want more autonomy, there are several steps you can make to ensure you make the transition in a wise manner. First is to know yourself and to know your why. A lot of people get into entrepreneurship only because they want to make a lot of money, but most likely this isn't going to take you far because entrepreneurship is tough. And you typically will make less money than if you were to stay at your normal job, at least in the beginning. And on top of making less money, you wear multiple hats, you do many of the tasks that you don't like to do, and you work much longer hours. 20% of businesses fail in the first year. So you want to make sure you know why you're doing this so you can get through the tough times and have the motivation to keep pushing you forward. On top of knowing your why, you have to know yourself. Are you a self-starter? Are you self-motivated? Or do you need someone to constantly push you and tell you to get things done? Nobody's gonna build your business for you or care more about your business than you do. Entrepreneurs gotta be on it. You gotta hustle and make things happen because it's not gonna happen on its own. And you know what? If you aren't that kind of person, that's okay. But maybe you should keep working at your 9 to 5 while you build that muscle. Try starting something on the side and work on being more efficient, consistent, and productive before you take that leap to full-time entrepreneurship. Second is to have a game plan for your business. But before we continue, I just want to ask that you hit the like button, subscribe, and share with anyone you know who might be interested in starting their own business. It can not only help them make a good decision, but it could help us grow this channel as well, so we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. A lot of times people will just get fed up at work and quit and just think they'll figure it out much later. And much of the time they end up regretting it, having to stop their business early and then go find another job. Don't do that. Have a plan for what you're jumping to. What business idea do you have, and have you tested it in the market? Now, what I mean by that is, have you ran it by family and friends and potential customers to see if there's any interest in the idea and if people are willing to pay for it? I'll go deeper into this in another video. Now, unless you don't like what you do, it's best that you start something in your field. And what you really want to do is be in that sweet spot of business, something that you like, something that you're good at, and something that can make you good money because it's valuable to people. In many cases, it will be a product or service that you already see people buying, and you can take that same product or service, add something unique, make it better in some way, and then offer that into the market. In the end, before you start your business, you want a detailed business plan. What are you gonna offer? What are your startup costs? How much are you gonna charge? How often are you gonna work, and what your processes and policies will be? Third is to have a game plan for your personal life. Again, running a business is tough, and it will most likely take a toll on your personal life. It takes a few years for most businesses to be profitable, so you need to understand how you and your family are gonna make it in the meantime, which means you need to have your personal finances in order. You need a good idea of what your expenses are and have a good amount of money on top of your standard emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. You don't want your family starving or unhappy while you build your business because you won't be able to put your full effort behind it anyways. In my opinion, depending on the business, it's good to have enough money to get you through at least a year or two, or at least to the point where you can start bringing in enough money to sustain yourselves. And you need to also understand if the money you earn will be poured back into the business or if you're going to be able to take some of that home. You also want to understand how flexible you are. Can you reduce your expenses? And do you have family support just in case something goes wrong? So for us, now that I don't have a W-2, our income will be dropping by 80%. That's a lot. But my wife is a part-time registered nurse, so she always has the option of going full-time or picking up as much work as she wants. But that's still a big impact on her. So that's why you gotta make sure your family is on board with your plans. Honestly, for us, my wife was more on board with me starting a business than I was. Although I've always wanted to start my own business, quite frankly, I was just trapped by the money. It's been tough for me when I think about how much money I could be making in my regular job. I also have a family to take care of. So I was still going back and forth on whether I should keep doing this part-time or not. The problem with part-time is that I had a max of 20 hours a week to do the work, and that's if I executed my schedule perfectly. And that just isn't enough time based on the amount of work I know I needed to accomplish, even after outsourcing a lot of my work. Going full-time means I can put my full effort on the business and make a lot more progress in a short amount of time. Now I'm starting a product management consulting business. I have a lot of great experience in product management and working with other product managers, but I also have a lot of experience and a good understanding of the other parts of the business and how all the pieces fit together. So I'm gonna take everything I've learned over the years and try to help small businesses get better. Now, until I can start bringing in some business and build a team, I need the time to not only build the business, but also to actually do the work and execute on the projects for my customers. Part-time just wasn't cutting it for me. But all in all, I'm pretty sure we got our ducks in a row to make things happen. So stick with me as I build this business, and I hope to help you build yours as well. Let's get after it.